Ready to open the hood? UseTool for the tutorials.
And for car parts, the right idea is the Mr. Auto app.
You will find the bulk, inner and outer tie rods used in the video exclusively on the Mr. Auto website and through the link in the description. Turn your engine off and pull up the handbrake. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels. To be able to change the inner and outer tie rod on your vehicle, you must remove the wheels to gain complete access to the steering system. Lift the front of the vehicle. Place the vehicle on the axle stands. We strongly suggest watching our tutorial, raising your Astra case safely before carrying out this step. Don't forget to slide the wheels under the vehicle. Turn the disc inwards. This will facilitate the process. You can now see the outer tie rod end. As the components to be removed are very often seized up, don't hesitate to brush and to use penetrating oil to facilitate the operation. With a marker, trace a line between the axle joint and the tie rod end. It will help later during the disassembly and reassembly process. With a 21mm spanner, start by loosening the locking ring nut on the inner tie rod. It is there to stop any form of rotation of the two pieces towards each other, as this could have an impact on the geometric settings of your vehicle. Hold the tie rod end with a 17mm spanner to prevent it from turning. Now, using an 18mm spanner and an 8mm spanner, release the holding lug nut on the tie rod. If you do not have a ball joint puller, take a hammer and hit the lug nut hard just at the end of the threading. The ball joint should move away from the pivot. Only tap on the tie rod end pivot if you are changing the tie rod end, otherwise you risk damaging the threading. Paying close attention to the point of reference, unscrew the tie rod end, counting the number of turns necessary to extract the tie rod end. This will allow you to find an approximate setting when reassembling. For greater accuracy, use the mark drawn with a marker to return the lock nut to its initial position. Next, measure the distance between the lock nut and the end of the tie rod ball joint using a caliper. In any case, an alignment check will have to be carried out by a professional after performing this operation. Remove the lock nut from the axle joint.
Okay, guys, if we can share this video with you and help you save a lot of money, is also thanks to our partner, Mr. Auto. So, if you want to support us and buy the part for this operation, visit their website. Okay, back to work.
With pliers, remove the external metallic clip on the protective sleeve of the tie rod axle joint. With a flathead screwdriver, remove the internal metallic clip on the sleeve. Remove the inner collar. Remove the sleeve. Using a tie rod iron or extractor, a specific tool for carrying out this job, you can now loosen everything without difficulty. To do this, insert the tool up to the fixed part of the tie rod, then with a socket wrench and a long extender force it in an anti-clockwise direction. If the tie rod axle joint is equipped with marks, release them using adjustable spanners. You will find the bulk parts and products used in the video on the Mr. Auto site and in the link in the description. Take the new axle joint and unscrew the lock nut provided with it. Before installing the new tie rod axle joint, apply a medium Threadlocker to prevent accidental unscrewing. Put the tie rod axle joint back on the steering rack. Still using the same tool or using an adjustable spanner, block the tie rod axle joint, but in a clockwise direction this time. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Then remove the tool. Take the new sleeve, put the internal clip back on. apply silicone grease to the parts of the sleeve that will be in contact with the tie rod ball joint. Then install the sleeve. You can now crimp the collar with the special tool or with pliers. Tighten the clip, being careful not to exaggerate for fear of damaging the protective sleeve. Then put the external clip in place. Screw the lock nut back on until the distance measured with the caliper is reached. Take the new tie rod end, unscrew the lug nut supplied with it. Put the tie rod end back in place, making the same number of turns as counted during disassembly. Using a wire brush, scrub the pivot, then apply silicone grease to the flat part that will be in contact with the tie rod bellows. Do not grease the inside of the cone. You can rotate the tie rod axle joint with a 15mm spanner to bring the tie rod end into the correct position. Replace the ball joint in the pivot. Reinstall the nut supplied with the new part and tighten it using an 18mm spanner. Stop the rotation using an 8mm spanner. Finish off the tightening with a torquey wrench. Finalize the tightening of the lock nut using a 22mm spanner, while holding the tie rod end using a 17mm spanner to avoid damaging the tie rod end. Then, you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle, put your car back on the ground, and block the wheels properly. During this operation, you will work on the steering system of your vehicle. Checks on tire alignment, when carried out by a professional, will guarantee that your steering system has been perfectly aligned and is in good working order. Operation completed.